You make it up in your mind that nobody's gonna stop you. Who's gonna prove them wrong? Welcome, welcome, welcome. I hope everyone doing good today. And today's message, we're going to be talking about whether you're going to be the victim or you're going to be the victor. Because at the end of the day, if you decide that you're going to shortchange yourself by not going as hard as you know you possibly can, if you're going to allow people around you to tell you what you will and cannot do, then wholeheartedly, I don't mean to be the bearer of bad news, but you're shortchanging yourself. And not so much are you shortchanging yourself, you're allowing yourself to be the victim. There's really no reason for you to even acknowledge the people that you know their job is to only hate. You got to be able to go within and find it in yourself to be the person that you know you have the full potential to be. Sometimes we actually don't even see our full potential unless we're put in a situation to where we really have no choice but to. When your back's against that wall and you kind of just, you really don't know what else you're gonna do. When them bills gotta be paid or that food gotta be put on that table, it's really the only time that we really push ourselves. Other than that, we settle. We do just enough just to get by, but at the end of the day, we say we'll settle for a piece of the pie when how actuality is, it's just like having one Pringle. That one Pringle is gonna make you want more. But we constantly make excuses for why we don't have our own pie. When we was given the opportunity to at least get a piece of the pie. So if you was able to get a piece of the pie, what you choose to do with your piece of the pie dictates whether you get just a piece or you get a whole pie. Because why can't you take that one piece of that pie and dissect it and see exactly the ingredients to make your own pie? Or let's say you even the odds a little more and you take your piece of pie and you instruct everybody else around you to do the same thing that you're doing. Now, the people around you actually decide that they want to make their own pie. So now guess what happens? You just created an extra realm for you to actually be able to fall back on. But if you keep that same mind state of being a victim, you'll never be able to conquer this. You'll never be able to get outside of making the excuses of why you don't have your own pie. See, most of us have been brainwashed so much to not only are we victims, we're slaves to ourselves. We don't understand that we've been brainwashed and mentally conditioned to believe and walk in the 40-40-40 scheme, which is where you work 40 hours a week for 40 years to try and retire for 40% of what you make. When, in all actuality, you was just barely being able to get by with the 100% of what you made. So what do you think the difference is gonna be when you settle for that 40%? So you gotta understand that chances aren't given, they're taken. And the problem with most of the things that we actually believe is that we put too much emphasis and too many doubts and limitations on ourselves that aren't even ours. They're the people that's around us. The people that are around us instill our limitations and our doubts and our self-pity we allow to place upon ourselves. Because if nobody ever showed you how to tie your shoe, who would have showed you? You would have had to figure it out on your own. It's just like, say for instance, if any of you out there ever been pushed in a pool and no one showed you how to swim and you played the victim mentality because you were scared, when you got pushed in, you was forced to learn how to swim. So you could no longer stay in that victim mind state. You had to push yourself. You had to go beyond and above the call of duty to actually be able to learn how to swim because your life depended on it. Fun fact, here's a quick story. Back about probably, I say anywhere, give or take, probably about 6 to 10 years ago. It has to be at least, it's probably gonna be 10 years. I kicked it with a bunch of people that really kind of meant me no good. But I didn't know any better at the time because that's all I was shown. So that's all I know. But in the middle of the knowing and dwelling and dealing with these people, I kind of went over on a side that I really didn't want to deal with. But due to the fact that wanting and longing for that attention, though, we kind of settle and deal with situations that we know we're better than. We kind of make excuses to be in situations where we know we shouldn't be in. So basically what happened was, we went to the club one night 5 cars deep. In this neighborhood, due to the fact that I had left and came back, and when I came back, I had a large sum of, what you wind up dealing with in the streets. And everybody that I was dealing with, I made them somebody. I put them in predicaments and positions to be able to take care of everybody around me. So the people that were dealing with me, they were supposed to genuinely deal with me. And in the process, we go to the club 5 cars deep. And when we get to the club, these same people that were already there when I came back, that felt some type of way about me coming in and taking over that area that we didn't really too much or care less about, they were there. This actual night just so happened to be the night of one of my kind of close acquaintances that we were in a situation to where this was his birthday night. And I've never been the type to actually be just real friendly. I'm a good friend, but I'm not friendly. And so I'm kind of just standing on the wall watching my friend, you know what I'm saying, having a ball, got money pinned on his shirt, and he's kind of getting a little just, carried away with himself, and he's in the club just shaking his bottles up everywhere, just shaking his bottles up, and I can see the frustration and the anxiety kicking in on this one in particular person. And with me being observant, I tap my partner and I tell him, hey man, watch this guy, man. It's something about this that just doesn't sit well with me. Even back then, my intuition was just on point. And sure enough, by the time We look back up and scan the club just to see all of what's in there. Next thing I know, this same individual is walking around like this. Walking around. And I'm like, okay, you know, yeah, it's probably finna go to a whole nother level real quick. So basically what happened was, this one individual stole off on my partner. Knocked him out cold. I catch him. And I put him down. By the time I put him down, the partner that I just tapped over on the side, done bum rushed him. Boom. And in the midst of this, I'm trying to get over there to make sure that he's straight, because I kind of felt that it was going to be a whole riot that was going to break out. In the process, the same one in particular person that I was telling you about, that didn't want to see me prevail, that wanted me to stay in a victim mindset, was in the club. We're both intoxicated, both just living life, okay? Now, next thing you know, he swings. And I see him swing in slow motion. I kid you not, this had to be one of the most slow motion things that I've ever seen or dealt with. So as I'm watching it, I duck down, go over. I come up and catch him. And as I do this, I'm on top of him. Working him. And out of nowhere, in the back of my head, I feel somebody, boom. At that moment, and at that point in time, there were more than 4 to 5 people on my head. And I'm in the club with 5 cars full of 5 people deep. And no one that I went with was around. At that point in time, I could have chose to be a victim. See, there's a split second in our mind every time we decide to be a victim or a victim. And the mind subconsciously, naturally, is going to want you to be the victim, because it's trying to prevent you from hurting yourself. But see, sometimes you gotta dig down and pull out that heart and find those reasons that'll keep you going. Those same reasons that keep you breathing. When you find that one thing that you love more than yourself, that'll make everything else possible. So you gotta understand, at that moment in time when I had that split second deciding to either be a victim or a victim, the one thing that came in my head, this was the only thing that came in my head, while I see people like this on my head. And I'm crouched down because I was already crouched down over, but so at the same time I see feet just coming at me from every angle. And I'm thinking to myself, this is the one thing that did it. If you go down to this ground, there's a chance you might not get back up. So see, what the point of this is, the only time you fail is when you quit. First thing. Second thing is, if you was already fighting a fight, and now you're in fight mode, because that's what you've been through, that's what you're going through, that's what you're dealing with. So you're already mentally prepared to pass, because you know that you can and you will fight. So when another fight comes up, why back down now? Because that's the time that you kick it in the overdrive. Because even if, say for instance, you're at someone's door and you're knocking, and no one's coming to the door. So you knock more, and you knock more. Guess what's gonna happen? Eventually they're gonna get tired of you. They might not come to that door in the most happiest way, but they gonna come to that door Or either they're going to acknowledge and they're going to know and they're going to let you know that they know that you was there. So if you're going to go down, don't just go down. Go down fighting. Because your chances of getting up and staying up are better when you don't play the victim and you come up with a reason to be the victor. Because at that moment, when I realized that if I go down, there's a chance I might not get back up, my brain automatically kicked into survival mode. So at that moment, guess what I did? I grabbed life by the legs and I started pulling them in closer to me so I could get them. And I spun around in a circle because I knew that if there's something attacking me from here, there's probably something attacking me from there. So you got to prepare yourself mentally and be ready for things to happen and go out of order and out of context at all times. Because when you do this, you are prepared for anything. And now at this point, you can either be the victim or the victor and make it up in your mind that no longer, no more will I just see that there is a problem, but I will become the problem solver. I will figure out how and not ask why. Because when you ask why, there's a shadow of a doubt in you deciding and believing in yourself. When you say how, now you are ready to fight. The end of that night turned out that basically I did something to every one of these people in this circle. They were all on the ground, misconstrued, didn't know where I had went because I backed up on the wall. And I sat there and I watched them. And I let them run all past me. And when they ran past me, I ran around the opposite direction and posted up on the bar and watched them go out the door. And as they were going out the door, I was grabbing bottles off of the table and I was catching them one by one from behind. Bam! With the bottle. One down. Bam! One down. Bam! In other words, sometimes you just gotta be prepared and wait for the right moment and you can be a victim. But if you're not prepared and you're not going to exert your full energy and your full strength in everything, every aspect that life throws at you, you will be a victim. Because the only difference between a victim and a victor is that they train for it. How do you think Mayweather was able to be undefeated? He didn't just go in there blind. He trained for it. He prepared for it. So instead of running from these situations when they come up, run to them. Learn to embrace the pain. Because once you embrace the pain, you know that you've been here before and that you can do it again. You've been here. Just like I said prior to this, I was already fighting another fight. And when I got out of that one, I knew that I was capable of doing what I just did and that one over here. So basically now, you got to understand you've been through some things, you're going to go through some things. But at the end of the day, once you learn to endure the pain, you no longer acknowledge that there was just a problem. You become a problem solver. I just want y'all to understand, man, that life is what you make it. And in your life, you can go as far as you take it. Don't let nothing stop you. Don't let nothing come in your way. Stay true to you and stay strong.